First, let's talk about question 1A. And we need to find out the mean of this question. And the first step to find out the mean is to find the class mark of each boundary. And we can find the class mark by, for example, by add up 0 and 0.05 and divided by 2, and we can find the class mark of the first payout ratio. It is 0.025. And after we find out of all the class mark, and we need to find the total number of stalks. That means the total number of frequency. It is 100. And the final step is to find the mean, and we need to multiply the class mark and the frequency and add up all of the frequency and divided by 100. And the answer is 0.28425. And second, we need to find out the standard deviation of payout ratio. And we need to find the variance first. And how to find the variance? We can first look at the formula. And then first we need to use the frequency, multiply the class mark, and square their product, and so on. And after that, we should divide it by the total number of frequency minus 1. That means 100 minus 1. And we can find out the variance. And it is 0.031940088. And after that, we can find out the standard deviation. And we should take the square root of the variance. And we can find that the answer is 0.1787179. And now we can find out the mean and the standard deviation.
Now let's talk about part C. Estimate from the frequency distribution table the range of payout ratio for the middle 80% of the stocks. First, we need to find the cumulative frequency of each class. We can easily know that the middle 80% of the stocks is from 10% to 90%. So we need to find the position of D1 and D9. We know that the total number of stocks is 100, so the position of D1 equals to 1 multiplied 100 divided by 10, which is 10. The same as D1, D9 equals to 90. Then we need to find the class that contains D1 and D9 in the table. We can find that D1 is in 0.05 to less than 0.1, and D9 is in 0.4 to less than 0.6. Then we can use the formula to get D1 and D9. D1 equals to L1, which is 0.05 plus 10 minus 5 divided by 10, which is the total frequency of the class, and multiply L2 minus L1, which is 0.5 minus 0.05. So D1 equals to 0.075, and the same as D1, D9 equals to 0.567. So the range for the middle 80% is 0.567 to 0.075.
For question 1A, we have to find the mean and the standard deviation. First, to find the mean, we have to find the class mark. For example, for this group, we can add it by $5,000 and $9,999 together, and then divide it by 2 so that we can find the class mark. And then next step, we have to find the total frequency. To add up all the number of families so that we can get the answer of 140. The next step is to find the mean. The way to find the mean is the class mark multiplied by each of the frequency. For example, the first group, the class mark of the first group is 7,499.5, and then multiply by 6, and so on and so on. And finally, we divided by the total frequency, which is 140, so that we can get the answer of $27,463.8. In order to find the standard deviation, we have to first find the variance. The way to find the variance is to square the class mark and then multiply by each of the frequency. And then finally divided by 140, the total frequency minus 1, so we can get the variance answer. The last step to find the standard deviation is to take the square root of the variance, and we can get the answer of $16,361.9. So here are the ways to find the mean and the standard deviation.
So let's talk about part B. We need to calculate from the frequency distribution table the maximum value of the lowest 25% of the monthly family income. The first step is to find the cumulative frequency and the class boundary. For the class boundary, for example, we can use this number, 9,999, add up by 10,000 and then divide it by 2, so that we can find that the class boundary is $9,999.5 to $14,999.5, and so on. And for the cumulative frequency, we can add up the number of families by using 6 and then add it by 22, and then we can find that the cumulative frequency is 28, and so on. The second step is to find the position of the first quartile. We can use the total number of family, which is 140, and then divide it by 4. And then as the first quartile is the first 25% of the data, so that we need to multiply it by 1, so that we can get the answer. The position of the first quartile is 35. So that we can know that the position is here. The last step is to find the first quartile. We can use this number, which is the lower class boundary of the data's class, and then we can add it by the position of the first quartile minus the cumulative frequency of the previous class, and then we can divide it by the number of families of the first quartile position, and then we can multiply it by the upper class boundary of the data class minus the lower class boundary of the data's class, so that we can find that the answer is $15,920.55263. Therefore, the maximum value of the lowest 25% of monthly family income is $15,920.
So let's talk about mock for 1D. And then here we need to find the coefficients of variation of this district and the other district. So we can find the coefficient of variation by putting the standard deviation on the numerator, and then put the mean of the denominator. And then we multiply it by 100% to get the coefficient of variation. So in this case, we can find the coefficient of variation of this district. And then the second step, we need to find the coefficient of variation of another district. We just simply put 20,000 on the numerator, and then 40,000, which is the mean on the denominator, and then times it by 100%. After that, we can compare the coefficient of the variation. Since the coefficient of variation of this district is 59.5 something percent, and then the coefficient of variation of the other district is 50%. Therefore, this district has a larger variation in monthly family income.